All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakar Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson on some scriptures from Luke, the 23rd chapter, right? That go into the crucifixion of Yahweh Shai. I'm going to start from verse 39. This is Luke chapter 23 and verse 39. It says, "And one of the malefactors which were hanged railed on him, saying, which were hanged railed on him, saying, If thou be Hamashiach, save thyself and us." So he was trying to ask for help and stuff like that. He was trying to ask Yahweh Shai to save himself as well. But he didn't understand that Yahweh Shai was supposed to be a sacrifice. Right? He didn't understand that by him saying that, he was trying to ask Yahweh Shai to not do what his life was supposed to be to do, man. He tried to ask Yahweh Shai to ignore the role that he'd been given on earth just so that he could be saved, because ultimately he was really asking Yahweh Shai to save himself so that he could save him, right? Because he didn't want to have to be punished for the things that he actually did. Verse 40, but the other answering rebuked him, saying, Dost thou not fear Yahweh, seeing thou art in the same condemnation? All right. So he was like, how are you running your mouth right now when you are in the same exact position as this man? And he explains why he said that. And we indeed justly, for we received the due reward of our deeds, but this man have done nothing amiss. So he understood that Yahweh Shai was blameless, right? But the other man was was mocking almost, right? He was saying, if you are him, if you are the Messiah, then how about you just save yourself right now and us, so that we can get out of here? That's the kind of mentality that he had. And the real reason why he wanted Yahweh Shai to save himself was because ultimately he just wanted to save himself, man. He wanted him to save him, right? He wanted him to take him away from the things that he deserved to go through, man. And based on what the other malefactor says to him, that was saying, don't you fear Yahweh, considering you're in the same position, right? That's a proof that in the times to come, right, that there's going to be people that are wicked as hell, that are going to be in the same position, being forced to take that karagma as us, right? And we might start, if you don't understand the scriptures properly, you might start thinking, man, Yahweh must hate me because I'm in a concentration camp right now, and I'm surrounded by all of these people that was doing alphabeting and rainbowing, that was being adulterers, that was being drug dealers, that were being thugs, that was being like criminals, and I'm surrounded by these same people right now. That must mean that Yahweh don't love me, when that's not the case, because Yahweh Shai was crucified, right, and was hung right next to people that deserve to be hung and deserve to be crucified, man. They deserved everything that they went through, yet Yahweh Shai didn't deserve it, yet he still went through the same thing, man. He still went through the same thing as them. Verse 42, and he said unto Yahweh Shai, Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom. So that right there lets you know that particular man understood reincarnation, because how would he think about him being in the kingdom, or him even being around Yahweh Shai at that time, man? How would he even think about that? You see, he understood that there's such a thing as reincarnation, man. He understood that. Verse 43, and Yahweh Shai said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, today thou shalt be with me in paradise. So because that man was humble and he only wanted to be remembered by Yahweh Shai, he received way more than he bargained for, man. Right? He received way more than he bargained for. And I'm take back a statement I made where I said that this man necessarily knew and understood reincarnation, right? Because he might have just believed that Yahweh Shai was gonna be in his kingdom after he died, but it sounds to me like he understood reincarnation, man, because it doesn't necessarily explain how spiritual this person was in terms of believing in the scriptures of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and believing in the Lord. It doesn't go into that, right? It doesn't make no referral to the level of knowledge of the Lord that this particular man had, but he understood enough to know that Yahweh Shai was blameless, though. He understood that much, right? He understood that much at least, man. Now I'll read that again. Verse 43, and Yahushua said unto him, verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise. So that small work at the end, well, I ain't even gonna call it, I can't even call it a small work. That work at the end caused for that man to receive a beautified things, man. It caused for him to ultimately make it into the kingdom by him showing faith in that last time. And then that's a sign that, which I'm not trying to compare men on the earth to Yahushua, but men on the earth come in the same pathway of Yahushua, right? They're following the similar pathway of Yahushua. So men on the earth in the times to come, when people start seeing that men of the Lord got crucified, right? They're gonna be people trying to mock about that when in the concentration camps. They're gonna be saying, well, if you believe in God, yeah, then why is he here? Why are you in here as well with us? Because we don't believe in God, but you're in the same place as us, about to be forced to take these fingers same way we are. So if you really if you really about the Lord, why don't you pray to your God right now and make him save you out of here and me out of here? Then why don't you just pray, since we're all Israelites, then why don't you just pray to your God and tell him to get us all out of here? People are going to be saying stuff like that, but they're not going to understand, because they don't have no knowledge of the scriptures like that. They're not going to understand that in those times there's going to be people that have to go through that particular thing that's mentioned in Revelation 20 and 4. But then in that time, there also might be people that say to those people, hang on, shut your mouth and don't be trying to mock these men, because we deserve to be facing what we're going through right now. Because we, all that time when these men was teaching about the Lord, what was we doing? We was in gangs, we was killing our own people, we was doing all this madness, right? But these men was believing in the Lord, and yet now we're still in the same position as them. And by those men in that time, if they say, and all those women in that time, if they say those kind of things and they think those kind of thoughts, Yahweh might have mercy on those people in that time and give them a strong spirit to deny the charagma, man. And in denying the charagma, receive mercy, right? That's the kind of things that can happen, man. And that's what this scripture made me think of when I was thinking about it just a minute ago, man. I was just thinking about this scripture, and that's what I decided to speak about based on what I just thought about, man. And I'm gonna end the lesson there. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.